my beloved child. Pause for one gentle breath, right here, in this very moment. Not to rest. Not to gather strength. But to recognize that this moment is not ordinary. This is not mere comfort. Not sentiment. This is a sacred encounter, a moment appointed for you long before your life began. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble upon these words. You were led to this very second. Stand still and honor the holiness of this hour. This is a season of release. I am reaching into the deepest places within you. Not with temporary comfort, but with divine intervention. The emptiness you feel is not failure. It is an invitation for me to become your fullness. I see your hidden wounds, your silent prayers, the dreams you tucked away, and I am pouring into those spaces. Peace in place of fear, clarity in place of confusion, strength in place of discouragement, abundance in place of lack. I do not patch your life. I transform it. This season is not only about letting go. It is about revealing what has always belonged to you. Even now, heaven's fullness begins to flow. Not loud. Not rushed. Yet powerful in a way nothing can hinder. But release is only the beginning. The deeper work now unfolding is this. You are being repositioned within the blueprint written for your life before you were formed. For years, you have lived far from the fullness of who you are. Not because you chose wrongly, but because life's pressures taught you to shrink, to adapt, to survive instead of rise. I have seen you live smaller than your true light. Remain silent when you could have spoken. Carry burdens that were never yours, simply to keep the peace. But from this moment forward, you are being returned to the true axis of your soul. The center I designed within you. When I reposition you, I do not merely correct direction. I restore essence. I return the light you lost in weary seasons. I restore the strength you believed was gone. I align your vision so you can see your worth, without needing to prove it. I sharpen your discernment, so your steps no longer tremble. And as you stand in this restoration, every word spoken over your life will carry new authority. Your mission is not small, not temporary, not faint. You were not created merely to live well. You were created to carry a mark, not of fame, but of life, light, and awakening. You are meant to bring transformation wherever you step, not through force, but through the presence you carry. When you stand in true identity, the atmosphere shifts. When you speak, truth reveals itself. Even in silence, discernment unsettles the darkness. This is the nature of a soul appointed for influence. Not built on crowds, but on depth, on presence, on the weight of the Spirit. I placed this within you long ago. It is not something new. Only now, through refinement and surrender, are you ready to carry it? Can you bear the weight of your calling, without being wounded by it? This moment is not merely a milestone. It is the unsealing of a chapter prepared for you. Everything before this was not failure. It was alignment. You walked through breaking, so I could rebuild you according to design. You endured silence, so your ears could recognize my voice. You lived through lack, so your heart could expand enough to receive fullness. And now, in the solemn stillness surrounding you, hear this. You are standing in a moment of eternal wait. Remain here. there is more yet to unfold. Stand firm, for I am speaking into the very root of your soul, with the authority of a covenant sealed before the foundation of time. You are not merely invited. You are summoned, not to hear beautiful words, but to stand in the position that bears your name, written by my own hand. You have stepped into the moment I chose. Never early, never late, never out of rhythm. This is the moment when every promise over your life begins to move from seed into reality. Not will happen, is happening. Not possible, certain. This is the nature of covenant. What I have spoken cannot be blocked, altered, bent, or delayed. I am renewing your mind so you can see clearly. You did not enter this season by effort. You entered because the covenant over your life is being opened. It is stronger than your fear, deeper than your wounds, and wider than every limitation you believed. When I release you, I do not only remove, I impart. I do not only close doors, I open new ones. I do not only lead you out of lack, I lead you into the flow of abundance, prepared specifically for you. You do not have to manufacture this abundance. That responsibility is mine. Your part is to stand in the right place and allow my living stream to pour through you, like a waterfall rushing through stone, at its appointed season. What is happening within you now is not spiritual comfort. It is the reconstruction of reality. I am rebuilding how you see, how you receive, how you move through life. Layer by layer, I am breaking down low thinking, so I may place within you the mindset of one who carries covenant. A covenant bearer does not live in timidity, does not choose smallness, does not remain in shadows I have already pushed back, does not wait for others to confirm what I have spoken. A covenant bearer follows the word, not public opinion, follows truth, not fear, follows divine leading, not old wounds. These are the foundation stones being fastened into your soul for the chapter now opening. Hear this with holy seriousness. Every area of lack in your life has reached its limit. Not the limit of endurance, the limit of replacement. Lack of placement will be replaced with divine positioning. Lack of love will be replaced with inner support from my presence. Lack of direction will be replaced with clarity bright as morning light. Lack of covering will be replaced with armor shaped by my own hand. Lack of voice will be replaced with authority that opens doors. No form of lack has the right to remain. When I open a season of abundance over you, this abundance does not arrive in drops. It comes like a flood. It does not come merely to soothe emotions. It comes to restructure. It does not come to make you simply okay. It comes to transform you into the form I wrote of you in the eternal covenant. In this moment, I am lifting you out of every old image. You are no longer the one trying to find your way, no longer the one struggling just to avoid breaking, no longer the one stepping forward in uncertainty. You are being repositioned into the place I envisioned for you. Before anyone formed an opinion about you, I see you according to my design, not according to what others projected onto you. When I position you, every other definition loses its power. When I speak, every deceiving voice falls silent. When I open, no door can close. And know this: I do not only open the door, I carry you across its threshold, with a support no one can hinder. Within the blueprint written for you are portions revealed only after refinement. You thought it was regression. I call it preparation. You thought it was loss. I call it purification. You thought it was silence. I call it inner alignment. When a design reaches its moment of unveiling, everything adjusts to welcome the one who carries it. That is what is happening around your life right now. Movement silent, yet stronger than thunder. Your calling no longer rests on a page. It is being lifted from ink and placed into reality. You may notice your heart becoming sharper, quieter, clearer, in ways you did not create. You do not need to struggle to believe. Covenant is not sustained by effort. It is sustained by my word. When I declare, it manifests. When I promise, it stands. When I write, it becomes. And everything written about you is shifting from prophecy into living reality. This is why I speak with strength, so your soul may rise into its new stature. Your life is not entering a normal chapter. You are stepping into an appointed one, a chapter of abundance, a chapter of clarity, a chapter of deep restoration, a chapter of awakened authority, a chapter of placement into the true axis of spiritual influence, for which you were prepared in secrecy. This is not a small turning point. This is a seal. And once a seal descends, no force can erase it. In this moment, I am not only declaring what is opened, I am drawing the strategic map for how you step forward. You are no longer in the stage of guessing what I desire. The sky over your life is clearing. Become still for a single breath, and direction will rise from within. I am placing within you the ability to discern spiritual movements before natural eyes can see them. So you follow not chaos, but the rhythm I have set before you. What I give you is not emotion. It is a map, not drawn in ink, but in discernment. Silent, yet guiding every step. I am giving you the ability to read spiritual territory, to discern who enters your life, to understand the atmosphere you step into, to recognize which doors are opening and which are closing. One who carries calling into a new chapter does not walk blindly. They walk as one who sees from afar. I am illuminating your vision in this way, not to make you afraid, but to make you a guide. I am strengthening your soul, so the things that once weighed you down can no longer hold you. Emotions that once shook you easily will be replaced with peace, steady and weighty as stone. Doubts that once rose suddenly will dissolve upon touching the truth planted deep within you. The deceptive whispers that once caused you to shrink will no longer define your steps. You are moving forward with steadiness, clarity, and unshakable inner authority. You are standing on a higher plane now, a place where your soul no longer receives everything passively, but discerns what must be kept and what must be released. I am lifting your thinking into strategy, seeing beyond surface appearance to spiritual impact, taking steps not merely because opportunity appears, but because the timing is right. Speaking not simply because you wish to speak, but because you know a word can shift an atmosphere. This is your new level of operation. Not doing more, but doing what is right. I am also placing within you a new strategy for relationships. I will bring into your life those whose spirits resonate with your purpose. Not the loud, but the sincere. Not the unstable, but the inwardly steady. I will remove connections that no longer serve this chapter. Not to make you lonely, but to position you in the right formation. One who carries a mission cannot walk alone, but neither can they walk with everyone. Each person who comes near your life in this season will carry an effect, either lifting you higher or adding unnecessary weight to what you carry. Therefore, I grant you clarity to recognize who may draw near, who must remain at a distance, and who is meant to walk only a short stretch before stepping away. This is not coldness. This is protection. I will also open strategies concerning your work, your direction, and the doors you are meant to enter. No more wandering through trial and error, but steps guided by instruction. You will notice a new sensitivity rising within you. Sensitivity to timing. Sensitivity to spiritual opportunity. Sensitivity to movements forming behind the unseen veil. I am sharpening your perception, so you are not swept away by appearances, but able to perceive the true nature beneath them. You are moving with clarity, precision, and purposeful discernment. I will lead you on paths that are not rushed, but precise. There is no need to force speed with your own strength. Walk in the rhythm of the light set before you. When you move in that rhythm, effort feels lighter. Doors that must open will open. What once felt difficult will flow like water down a hillside. Hear this prophetic truth. Your spiritual influence will unfold in 3 levels, and it will feel natural, never forced. The first level is within you. When you speak, your own soul will be strengthened, brightened, and firmly anchored. The second level touches those connected to your journey. Through your steady presence, they will be lifted, clarified, and drawn out of confusion. The third level reaches beyond what you can see. Your words, your life, and the atmosphere you carry will touch people you have never met. This is not exaggeration. It is the nature of one who has stepped into an appointed chapter. So you no longer need to ask, "Am I enough?" You are enough because I called you. You are strong because I strengthened you. You are sharp because I taught you. You influence because I opened the door. I place upon you a mark darkness cannot touch. The mark of one who knows the path they walk, and knows the one who leads them. You will not walk in the fog of former seasons. You will walk in clear direction. You will not enter battles unprepared. You will enter carrying strategy. I am placing within you a peace no one can steal, a focus no force can scatter, and a clarity strong enough to discern every word, every door, and every spirit in the atmosphere around you. This is not merely a new chapter. It is a new realm. And as you stand within it, every part of you, your heart, your mind, your calling, your presence, begins to move in the rhythm heaven has written for you. There were moments when you believed everything was fading. Yet in those very moments, the true shape of your soul was being refined. When you were led into holy stillness, It was not a place for overthinking or straining to understand. It was a place to breathe deeper, to expand wider, to pause long enough to receive what has always belonged to you. Nothing was required of you there. You were simply held, safe beyond the reach of anything outside you. In that quiet, life began to seep back into the corners that once felt dry from lack of care. I know you have grown used to meeting life with vigilance, but here, vigilance is not required. I am guarding the space where you rest. Let your soul lower its breath, for only when your breathing softens can your mind open to receive the deep things being spoken within you. As peace settles over you, you will recognize a place you thought was lost, the place where you belong. In this belonging, you do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to pretend strength. You do not need to defend, compare, or protect yourself as before. This holy encounter is not a moment for tension. It is a moment for opening. Open to receive blessings you were once too weary to carry. Open to stand firm in a love you once only partly believed. Open to release the fears that clung like fine dust, clouding your sight. I do not want the eyes of your soul dim any longer. I want you to see the truth about yourself. Not the truth of failure. Not the truth of wounds. Not the truth of limitation. But the truth written about you from the beginning. When you see yourself in that light, every doubt that once made you hesitate will fall away, like the last leaves of a fading season. You do not need to tear them away by force. Light causes darkness to disappear on its own. And as the darkness fades, you will realize your soul was never weak. It was only the lies that covered the brightness within. Now that brightness awakens again, as naturally as morning dawn. In this unfolding, you will notice something else. The emptiness you once carried no longer demands to be filled in haste. You tried so hard to find certainty, to find support, to find understanding, to find a hand warm enough to steady your trembling heart. I saw the places you searched. I do not blame you. I also saw the moments you judged yourself for not being as steady as you wished. But now your soul must understand. Your fullness does not come from outside. It comes from me. From a covenant already sealed. From a stream of life already opened. From the design placed within you that has never once been flawed. When fullness rises from within, you are no longer dependent on approval. You stand with a strength no one can touch. You love without fear of lack. You give without fear of becoming empty. You walk no longer governed by scarcity. And when your soul knows it lacks nothing, you stop making small choices out of fear of loss. The repositioning within you is like water flowing over stone. Gentle yet unstoppable. Unhurried yet stronger than resistance. I am not forcing change through pressure. I am shaping you through saturation. Day by day. Rhythm by rhythm. Breath by breath. The truth about you is returning to its rightful alignment. You will notice your responses beginning to shift without forcing yourself. What once unsettled you will no longer carry the same weight. What once made you shrink will be met with a peace you did not know before. When your soul is set upon its true axis, right choices begin to feel natural, even effortless. You no longer wrestle against yourself. You were never meant to live in endless inner conflict. You are meant to live in the flow of purpose. That flow is not passivity. It is harmony between your soul and my design. Within that harmony, your influence will grow. Not because you strive to expand it, but because you stand where you truly belong. When a person stands in their appointed place, their influence spreads naturally, like warmth radiating from a flame. You will not strive to influence. Influence will appear wherever you stand rightly. Others will sense firmness in your words, without you proving anything. They will sense purity in your motives, without explanation. They will recognize discernment. When you step into spaces filled with contradiction, this is the mark of one who carries a living current. Strength that does not need announcement, because it speaks for itself. And when I say you are being led into a hidden blueprint, I am not placing you under heavy labor. I am leading you into a life that matches your soul. What exhausted you before no longer belongs to you. I do not call you into what wounds you. I call you into what may appear large, yet fits the true constitution of who you are. That constitution is this: the softness of love, united with the sharpness of truth, the gentleness of compassion, and the boldness of discernment, the quiet strength of the inner life, and the courage of decisive steps. You do not need to choose between them. You were created to carry them all. I know you still hold questions about direction, about the future, about what you will do, about which doors will open. But understand this first: it is not the doors that define you. It is you who define the doors. When your identity is aligned, doors open in the right order. When your heart is clear, you do not choose wrongly. When your soul is at peace, distorted invitations lose their pull. I do not create confusion. I create clarity. And from that clarity, the paths before you become visible, smooth as a calm night road. Feel this deeply in the season ahead. My protection surrounds you. Before, you felt you had to protect everything: your heart, your dreams, your values, your peace. But now, I am your covering. No one touches what I have placed within you without passing through me. No one harms what I am building. No one silences the voice I speak within you. Nothing passes without permission. And I do not permit anything to steal the peace being formed in you. You have grown used to waiting for signs, to know if you are on the right path. But now, you will sense direction before any sign appears. You are not meant to live dependent on signals. You are meant to live in union. When you walk in union, you become the sign. Your presence becomes the testimony. Your faith becomes the path. Your stillness becomes the strategy. The light in your eyes becomes the evidence of alignment with heaven's flow. And you will notice old wounds healing so gently, you may hardly recognize it as healing at all. Pain will loosen its grip. Tension will soften. Memories will lose their sting. Not by force, but by quiet restoration unfolding within you. No more long inner battles. No more exhausting days spent wrestling the past. just to avoid slipping into old shadows. You were not meant merely to get through each day. You were meant to live. When healing comes from me, it is like light filling a room no one believed could ever be beautiful. You will look back on your past and feel not pain, but grace. You will remember where you collapsed without shame. You will recall the nights you cried without heaviness. And as you look back, you will see that I was there. In every step, every fracture, every empty place, filled with my presence. Within this healing, your old expectations will no longer fit. You will desire what is deeper, truer, greater. You will no longer settle for half measures. You will not choose what offers only temporary comfort. You will not seek acceptance from places unworthy of you. This is not pride. This is elevation. Your soul no longer lives on low ground. It has been lifted higher. And everything within you will begin to choose according to that height. And know this: you are not walking into this chapter alone. I am here. I have been here from the beginning. I will be here until the end. I have never stepped away from a single moment of your journey. This season is not only your transformation, it is my companionship with you. As the one who goes before you, as the one who walks beside you, as the one who guards you from behind. You cannot be lost. You cannot be misplaced. You cannot fall outside what has been ordained. You are standing within a chapter written in light, and I will remain with you through every step of this new life now unfolding. Let this moment close in the stillness settling upon your soul. Not a stillness that ends something, but a stillness that sends you forward with a new understanding of who you are. Everything spoken over you is not a distant promise. These are layers of reality now opening, flowing, and taking root in the deepest parts of you. You do not leave this moment as someone who merely heard a message. You leave as someone sealed, someone who has touched an appointed moment. What once frightened you no longer holds power. The insufficiencies that once made you shrink back are no longer your story. You step forward with different eyes, a different rhythm, a different spirit. The spirit of one who knows. They have a place to stand, a source to live from, and a truth to walk in. Carry this peace with you. It does not come from emotion, but from presence resting upon your life. And in the days ahead, you will see that nothing spoken here was in vain. Walk forward in stillness. Walk forward in clarity. Walk forward in quiet strength. Amen.